This is Braggins Adventures. Hey guys, it's Andrew from Braggins Adventures, and I am taking over Thirsty Thursdays this week. No quick stop for you because you know what? I want to chat. So, go pour yourself a drink because we are going to talk about Vegas. Now, what do I want to talk about? Let me start you off with why I want to talk about it. We went to Vegas in July of last year. There's a whole series I've linked to in the description below. And then coming up this summer, I actually have 2 trips planned there. One, Alyssa and I are going for her birthday. We're going to hit a bunch of stuff, and I've got a few videos prepared for you for that. And then later on in the summer, I'm going alone. Alyssa's got a work trip, a business trip out of town. And I'm going to be a bachelor for a couple weeks anyway. I was like, well, why don't I head to Vegas and do some more videos for you guys? Between the trip last July and these trips coming up in May and June, I thought Vegas has changed a lot. And I kind of touched on this in another video, which is also linked in the description below. But I want to expand on some of that. Because Vegas is not the same today as it was when I was a child, just like it wasn't the same when I was a child as it was when my parents were children. Vegas is like Disneyland, ever changing. I believe the same is true about Vegas. I'm talking about the stuff that affects you and I when we go to Vegas, and not in a good way. And I just want to touch base on that. I don't want to be overly negative. I love going to Vegas. It's a super fun time. If you watch any of our videos in that playlist down below, you'll agree with me. It really is a good time. But there are certain things that I don't think are different in a good way from when I was a child. So I made a list here and I want to go through them. The first one is, doesn't apply to everybody. I don't want to go overly negative with this. And these are in no particular order. But number one that we're going to chat about is tip earning. I feel like the customer service in Vegas has gone downhill. There's a lack of politeness, a lack of courtesy there. I feel like tips are just demanded, expected, and they don't have to do anything additional to earn them. Now, back in the day, you know, you'd slip a couple bucks to your valet. You'd slip a couple bucks to your bellboy. That's what they were called. Maybe a couple bucks to the front desk, couple bucks to the cashier when you're cashing out your winnings. You throw bucks here and there, right? Now I feel like you're expected to throw those bucks here and there. Like it's no longer something that you're doing because of their service level. And that's a bummer to me. And it's also not exclusive to Vegas. The second thing I want to go over is the whole greasing palms. I don't know any other way to put that. So like back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I don't even mean when I was a kid. I'm talking 5 years ago. You could like slip a 20 to your front desk person and maybe get a upgrade. They would pocket the 20, and that was cool. Every management kind of turned their back. And now I feel like that's just not happening. The business wants to charge for every little upgrade. Can I have an extra roll of toilet paper? $5 added onto your room. That's obviously an extreme example. And a lot of check-ins automated now. You do it in an app. You don't even talk to a person. So there's not that opportunity to slip money to the people that can get you things. Doesn't just apply to hotels either. Restaurants too. You used to be able to like do that. There's an episode of Friends where Chandler tries to palm a 20 to get in to a restaurant with Monica, and he keeps dropping the money. He can't figure it out. It was in the wrong pocket, wrong hand. He had change in his hand at one point, and all the change went everywhere. He was really bad at it. But it used to be you could fold that bill up, shake the maitre d's hand. He would know what was going on, and then boom, you got the table with the best view, or a free bottle of champagne, or even if your reservation wasn't for another hour, they slipped you in early. You can't do that anymore. And that's a bummer. That was kind of classic Vegas. You know what I mean? I dug that kind of experience, and that just doesn't exist anymore. Let's see, number 3 that I want to talk about, and I did touch on this one for sure in a previous video, but the whole parking situation in Vegas. Self-parking used to be free. Valet parking used to be free, but you tipped your valet. And now, self-parking at a minimum is like $15 for a couple hours. No, that's not okay. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a few places, Casino Royale, South Point, I believe Tropicana, that still offer free self-parking. I think that's rad. Please keep doing that. But these other hotels, man, it's a parking lot. I don't I don't even want to get into it. It's way too expensive to park in Vegas now. That's a bummer for me. That's a real bummer because you can, if you're hitting 4 or 5 different spots that are owned by different companies, that's 4 or 5 different parking fees in one day. Come on, that's $75 in gambling money, $75 for a nice dinner, $75 in souvenirs for your kids back home, $75 in delicious whiskey. You know what I mean? Like, it's a racket. I'm not cool with that one. The next one, and we noticed this, and I thought it was weird, and then I researched about it. Knowing what you're gonna pay for something. So what that means is when you go into like a gift shop or that sundry shop, the 24-hour liquor store, whatever that's in your hotel. And I noticed this in Luxor specifically or Excalibur. I can't remember which one. There's not prices on the stuff, and that's because they changed the pricing. They adopted the Uber model. They do surge pricing. They don't call it that though. What do they call it? Dynamic pricing, I think, is what the dude referred to it as. Dynamic pricing. So what that means is, if you win at 8 in the morning, uh, uh, let's say a whiskey, right? A little bottle of whiskey might be $5, but if you win at 10 o'clock at night, that same bottle of whiskey might be $7, right? So they adjust the pricing, so they don't list the prices in the store. You have to walk up and be like, "Hey, sir, how much is this?" And he has to scan it and tell you how much it is at that particular moment in time, and that could change 10 minutes later. Dynamic pricing, surge pricing, call it whatever you want. It's bull. And I'm not okay with that one at all. And I know I said I don't want to get too negative, but these first four guys, I'm sorry, these are super negative points. That's not okay, guys. Let's go back to being truthful and upfront with your customers, okay? This whiskey should be $5 at 7 a.m. or $5 at 10 p.m. or $5 at noon. Any time of day I go in, every customer should pay the same exact price. It's not okay. I'm not okay with it. And you shouldn't be okay with it either. All right. Moving on. Not exclusive to Vegas, but everyday housekeeping. When I was a kid, we went and we slept, we got up, we showered, we went out for the day. By the time we came back in the afternoon or evening, our beds were made, it was vacuumed again, fresh towels, fresh this, ice bucket fill, whatever. That doesn't happen anymore. And this is kind of maybe a post-COVID world thing. And again, not exclusive to Vegas. It just happens to be this is a Vegas video. We stayed in Colorado last weekend, same thing. Their website says that you'll get maid service every 2 days. So if you're only there for a weekend, Friday to Sunday, you won't see maid service the whole time. And yes, you can always call housekeeping. Hey, I need more towels. Hey, can I get this? Hey, can you do this? You can make those requests, tip those people, or maybe the hotels charge for that now. But it used to be every single day. Not a huge deal for me. It's not like I change my linens every day. It's not like, we reuse towels at home. I don't mind reusing a towel at a hotel. It's not that big of a deal for me. I know a lot of people get real fussy about it, but you know what? It's cool. I'd rather they weren't in my room every day, honestly. If I need something, I can call. All right, what's next on my list? Oh, the non-digital slots. So when I was a kid, you know what? I'm going to combine two. I'm going to combine two off my list because they're virtually the same thing. Well, they're not, but they're. Non-digital slots, meaning real slots, like the ones that go, right? You pull the handle. Now it's all computer screen, and it still does that, but it's digital. It's an effect. And the other one is coin slot machines. Like, when I was a kid, they used to have buckets, like, above every slot machine, and that was so you could collect your coins when you were playing. But I just collected the buckets. I loved those buckets, and they don't have those anymore. There's no coin. You put your bill in the machine, they print you out a ticket, right? If you know of a place in Vegas, I can still go play a slot machine and have coins go clink, 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 and fall down into the bin when I win. Let me know, because I'm going to go gamble there. They get my money. Between the no more coins, no more money, really, it's all paper now, and no more, like, mechanical slot machines, it feels more like a video arcade. Am I upset about it? No. Am I nostalgic for the old days? Absolutely 100%. Next thing on the list, live games with like dealers. Now, obviously there's still a pit in most casinos, but I'm noticing more and more that those pits are shrinking. There's smaller spaces, and there's room now for these digital versions of those games that don't have like a live dealer that's like dealing you the cards or spinning the roulette wheel. It's all computer again. I'm a craps player. I also like roulette and blackjack. I love poker. But when I go to a casino, I'm usually going to hit either craps or a Wheel of Fortune slot machine. But I only want to hit craps if there's physicality to it. I want to touch those dice. I want to throw. I want to feel the energy of everybody around me. I want to have to stand. I don't want to sit at a craps table. I want to stand it because there's energy, there's momentum there, and that energy sometimes will superstitiously help you win. I'm just saying that. Next thing on my list that's changing, and this is probably one of the biggest bummers for me. I'm not mad about it, but it's a bummer. Buffets are like gone, dude. Over the years from when I was a kid to when I became an adult that went to Vegas, those buffet prices increased and increased and increased. And then most recently, there's like no buffets left. Uh, uh, Obviously, South Point's got theirs, which we've reviewed, and I will be reviewing again this summer. The Palms has one that we're going to review for you. What's happening is the buffets are either not profitable anymore, so they are trying to do things that are more profitable. And what they're doing is putting in these food courts. And I don't mean like at the mall. Um, I mean like this. I'm gonna call it a like almost like a food truck park, except they're not food trucks. So you can go and there's 8, 9 different, not low end but higher end restaurant quick stops to eat at. And maybe your whole party goes again, and then you meet in a communal area and sit down at a table, right? Food court's probably not the right word, but that's just what I'm going to call it. Most recently, Aria got rid of their buffet and filled it in with one of these, and we are going to check that out and review it for you for the May video, I believe. It might be on the June one. Can't remember. 2 trips are blending right now. But like, I miss the buffets, guys. Like, all you can eat, and I remember crab legs were the coolest thing, and then the peel and eat shrimp. Crab and peel and eat shrimp were always on every breakfast buffet. And then the crab went away, and then the peel and eat shrimp went away, and then the prices went up, and then they went up some more, and then the buffets just went away. I'm super sad about that. But anyway, yeah, I do miss that. Last one that I want to talk about, because we combine one of the other ones, is back to gambling in the casino. Cheap tables. Now, when I was younger, I don't mean as a kid. I mean a young adult, like 21 plus, going to gamble 20 some odd years ago. You could walk by most casinos, and there was like $5 blackjack or $1, or actually 50-cent roulette. I remember 50-cent roulette and $5 blackjack was common. And then you could go to places like Slots of Fun that had like $2 blackjack, right? Or $2 craps table or whatever it was. And now I feel like you're lucky if you'll find a $5 anything. I believe roulette's slowly phasing out the $1 chips even. We're going to have $5 roulette, I'm sure. But yeah, I miss cheap Vegas, I guess. I miss 90s Vegas. I even miss... yeah, I miss the 2000s Vegas too, but I miss 80s to 90s Vegas the most. Is it going to stop me from going? Probably not. I mean, I got 2 trips scheduled in the next few months there. But it does mean that you're going to have to work harder to find it becomes a budget trip. One of my biggest recommendations is to make sure that you're playing the My Vegas slots on your cell phone. That's a way to still keep it budget friendly. Other than that, you're just going to have to watch a ton of videos from people like me that show you where the cheap eats are and the cheap activities and stuff. That's that. Thanks for joining me today on this Thirsty Thursday. For sure, chat with me in the comments below. You got questions, I've got answers, and if I don't, I can probably find it for you or point you in the right direction to find it yourself. If you like this video, found it helpful, hit that like button, and obviously if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, guys. We are 1/4 of the way to monetizing this channel, which is a huge step. We're trying to hit 450 by the end of 2023 for our subscriber count. We're going to give away an Amazon card. You can see details about that in the description below. So if you haven't, please do subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.